FM. Radio has never been better.
What is up?
How is it going today?
This is The Movie Show.
With your favorite hosts.
I'm Sesh.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are continuing
On The Movie Show.
with our Matt Damon marathon.
Yes.
This is the third week. The first week we didn't realize we were starting a Matt Damon marathon. We just were doing an old film called Good Will Hunting. And then we decided to do the second film, which was Air, with that was directed by Ben Affleck and also had Matt Damon. And then we looked at doing The Last Duel. Unfortunately, though, The Last Duel has very interesting scenes in it. So, we decided not to do that one. Anyway. So today we are going to be looking at a film that is 10 years old. I feel like we've been doing a lot of films that are like 10 years old.
That's a good films.
It's weird.
They
2013 was a good year when it came to film.
They knew how to make good films.
Yeah, back in 2013.
After 2010.
There we go.
I feel like it's for people who know, it's the Windows thing. So if you notice, we had Windows 95 was good, Windows 95. 98 was like, And then I think we did Windows 2000, which was good. And then after that, there was like XP, which was great. And then there was Windows 8, and 7 was good. Then 8 was bad. Then Windows 10 was good. And then 11, people have been like, and I think 12 just came out, and people have been like, so it's like the skip. So I think 2010s was a good generation. 2000s was not good.
Yeah.
The 90s
1990s,
were great.
yeah, they were great.
The 80s.
80s weren't bad.
Well, that Windows wasn't around then, so they couldn't have started the Windows thing by then.
There we go.
Makes sense.
Right.
And now we're in the 2023s, and we've seen some great films.
But very far and few between.
Like Spider-Man.
No, that's not one of them. Oh wait, the amazing, not the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Verse.
I was going to say, is it Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, that one. Okay, I'll agree with you there. I'll agree on Dune. Dune was good. Yeah, there have been good films. But anyway, we are doing Elysium, which is a 2013 film that is very interesting, actually.
Yep.
I actually watched this film before. I remember like when it came out, seeing it and watching it like quite a couple of times, especially the ending. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. We used to have satellite TV in those days. So whenever you watched movies, you kind of caught like specific parts. And then for some reason, whenever you like rewatched or happened to find the movie again, it was always from the same part. It's weird.
Remember those days?
Those days, yeah. So you like knew a movie, but you never knew how it started. But you like you knew the whole story. You just didn't know. Like if you ever saw the beginning, you were like, what? Wow!
I did something on Saturday that I've learned from. So usually and I think satellite TV was the worst.
Yeah.
The channel surfing, looking for a program for a movie, but you're looking for a movie that you know, or something like a very specific kind of film, and you end up just spending an hour just browsing through channels. So you wasted the time. So what I did was that we were looking for a movie, and I could feel that sense coming on now. So you're like, no, you're just browsing. You're like literally doing this with the app. You're like,
nope.
Looking at the things. And then eventually I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So I went to the beginning, looked at the first one, looked at age restriction, looked at naming. I was like, looked at my family, said, yes, no, okay, next one. And we came across a very good film that way, which I previously just passed by, which was that penguins in Madagascar, the follow the whatever off. And it was actually a great film. So it's just my tip of the week.
There we go.
My tip of the week. Don't look at the cover. Read the synopsis.
That's true.
And obviously, first we judged on the age restriction, and then we judged on the name of the story. And obviously, the cool thing about Netflix is often when you go into it, the trailer plays. And the trailer caught us first thing.
Yeah.
It was really good. So
the only thing I don't like about the trailer is I've had the experience where the trailer gives everything away. So I like try and avoid trailers now.
We've had trailers that were brilliant, and we watched the movie and we were like,
the movies. You see, that's a problem with trailers.
Sucked.
Yeah. So I think looking at like plot line and I personally, I think the way I pick films often is also based on who is in it. I know I
Absolutely.
do that. So like I'll look at an actor or director and then I'll go through like their filmography. Yeah, we've actually sort of done a Timothée Chalamet marathon on the movie show, because at that time I was doing a Timothée Chalamet marathon.
There you go.
And then, but we didn't say it. But this time we actually are doing a Matt Damon marathon. So it's Elysium 2013. It's a sci-fi action film that is 1 hour and 49 minutes long. Now this is where it gets interesting, right? Ha! The director of this film is a man by the name of Neil Blomkamp. And yes, he is South African. If you didn't know, we are South African. So this is very cool because this isn't like a normal thing. Like South Africans in the film industry. How many South Africans do you know in the film industry? Exactly. Okay. So this guy, I was actually shocked though by his films. The one I knew the best, I'd say, is District 9. So if you've ever watched District 9, it came out in 2009. And that film was brilliant. The concept, and it was filmed in South Africa, so it was a very South African film.
I still pass that hill. Whenever I pass on the highway, I'm like,
You're like
District 9.
yeah, and it was I think what was cool about it was this huge blockbuster film that did so well around the world, but it was South African. And then he did Elysium. He did another one in 2015 called Chappie.
Chappie was very well.
Yeah.
Was very well. I think that's the one that I passed on the hill, actually.
Oh, serious?
Just outside of the Joburg CBD, there's this old, like, hill with this big piece of concrete thing. If you've watched Chappie, you know exactly which part it is. I pass on that highway like almost every day because it's just outside. And then I think of Chappie.
There we go.
Yeah. And I've heard VFX artists
Yeah.
speak about Chappie,
Chappie.
and how because of the tracking and the technicality. In fact, I would almost say this director's got a what do you call it? A trait.
Yeah, he definitely does.
He's got this feel, which I saw in this movie.
Yeah. Yes, he
as
does.
well.
He's got this like very like rough, grungy, often robotic, apocalyptic.
Yeah.
The main character dies.
Very
Feel.
is industrial,
Yes.
industrial kind of grunge.
Personally, it's not my favorite style. So like it's not my favorite, but you know what? There's a time and a place for it. And I mean, District 9 was a traumatizing film, but it was a brilliant film. I just remember being traumatized by that film.
And the same actor that was in there was in this
Yes,
film as well.
yes.
Which seems to be one of his favorite actors.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
he's also South African.
Yeah.
So, but this is where it gets, okay, this was interesting for me. So he has actually brought out a film this year, 2023.
I want to see it.
It's called Gran
Yeah.
Turismo.
Yeah.
Now, I heard about this film. Why did I hear about this film? I can't remember. But basically, it's got David Harbour in it.
Yes.
And there's another guy, Archie. I can't remember his surname, something with an M. But basically, it's based on a true story of a gamer that would play, like, I think it was Formula One. And he got the opportunity to actually start driving. So they had this idea where they took a whole lot of gamers and allowed them to actually train to drive a real race car. And it's a true life story. It's actually a
Cool.
true life story. Yeah. And I've been interested in wanting to watch it, but I didn't realize that Neil was the director. So when I saw that, I was like, what? But I think that would be very interesting also because, like we were talking about his style, from the trailer, that film looks completely different to,
So he's broken
yeah,
out.
which I think is also pretty cool. But yeah, that
Not that
looks-
his style, there was something wrong with his style.
No.
It's just better when, as you said, and this is just a personal taste and opinion, but the best actors and directors are those who you can't tell it's them.
yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
And it's a good film.
Yeah. So, okay, Matt Damon is the protagonist in this film.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the first choice. Can you believe it? No. The first choice
Was me.
was not right.
He
The
phoned
first Okay, the second
I
choice
can show you the WhatsApp.
after WhatsApp wasn't like a thing. No, was WhatsApp a thing in 2013? Could have been a thing.
Nobody
okay, anyway,
knows.
the main role was first offered to Ninja, a South African rapper. I don't know who that is. I'm South African and I don't know who that is.
Wow.
Does anyone know who Ninja
I've
is?
heard of him.
You've heard of him?
I have heard of him.
Oh wow, okay. I'm terrible when it comes to South African celebrities, but anyway.
Ninja, yeah.
So that it was offered to him, who despite being a fan of District 9, he even has a District 9 tattoo on his inner lip, which is very weird, did not take the role. The role was then offered to rapper Eminem. Right?
Why rappers?
I don't know. Who also turned it down, and apparently he turned it down because he wanted Neil to change the location of the film from being set in Los Angeles to Detroit, and Neil didn't want to do that, so that's why I'm like, wow, seriously? Wow. Okay, anyway. And then he moved on, he moved on to Matt Damon as his next choice, which is crazy because like he didn't go for two actors. He went for two rappers as his first choice, so that was pretty interesting. But yes, then it went obviously to Matt Damon. But the cast was it was a very good cast. They had Jodie Foster in it, obviously Matt Damon. It had what's that guy's name now? Sholto.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Copley.
That's our famous.
Yes.
Our very famous guy.
He was the main actor in District 9. And apparently he presented an American, an Eastern European, and a British version of Kruger. So his character in Elysium is Kruger. And he first presented those 3 different types of versions of the character Kruger to the director before they agreed that Kruger would be from their home country, South Africa, and he would speak with the accents of a very specific area in Johannesburg, which he did. Okay, let me finish I'll tell you.
It was very strong.
It was very strong.
Yeah.
Accordingly, Kruger's men, so he has 2 guys that work with him.
The one is actually an Izidingo.
Yeah.
He's actually well known from that. He's actually a cop in Izidingo. Like he's well known from there.
Yes.
Never mind the other films that he's played.
Yeah.
He's played in a lot of other well-known films, but specifically they're like the well-known former Izidingo, which is a soapy, role. He was a cop. I think it was something Cooper.
Okay, wait, this guy, so there's 2. There's Brandon Oritz, who also played in District 9.
I didn't recognize him though.
And then the second one is Josh Blacker.
That's him, yeah.
And then also, they incorporate numerous Afrikaans slang words in their dialogue. So, for example, you'll hear the word boet, which is brother. You'll hear boykie, which is little boy. And you'll even hear lekker, which means nice.
Nice, yeah.
But it was so strange
and
for
even
me.
sang a song in Afrikaans.
What's it?
Young Peter Wit.
Yes, he sang the whole
I was
song.
sitting there, I'm like a lot of people don't even know what this guy's singing right now.
But for me, what was weird was I'm not used to hearing the accent that I hear every day of my life in movies. I'm not used to it. And then he did it it was so strong. It was you could just hear these 3 guys are so South African. And then on top of that, the fact that they brought in the words that the lingo he was using, I was just like, this is also, plus on top of that, an Afrikaans villain, honestly, in my opinion, is the scariest person on earth.
Well, I was just about to say, I think for us, there were things that he was saying that there was a bit hilarious. I didn't know how to take it, but I was thinking about what would a someone that from the US or any other country. I think he would right now he would be quite creepy.
Oh no, he was very creepy.
Yeah,
I think it's also because he's so close to. I think that's the reason he's so close to home that we can relate to him so well because he's got the accent, he's speaking the words we speak, and then he's evil, and you're just like, this guy is this guy. No, he was. It was. I was laughing though. There was a couple of times where I would actually just laugh because I was like, this is. It was very funny.
I think I figured out. I think the reason why it's weird for us to hear South African accent within a movie is specifically when it's mixed with the American accent, because the American accents seem very normal to our brains.
Yeah, that's true.
In our brains, we're just like a movie.
Yeah.
We don't think American accent. But then when you hear the American accent and then a switch to a very strong South African accent, that's very abnormal for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I thought was cool about this film was it was very, very diverse. So you had the South African accent, then you had Latinos, and they were speaking Spanish. Then you had...
all the bad guys were Latinos. Okay, wait.
No, the bad guys were South African.
Sorry, yeah. The bad guys, as in the guys that are left on Earth.
Oh, the rebels.
All the dirty, rebels. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
All
but
of
I
them,
think it's because it was set in LA as well.
Yeah, I suppose it's... I almost get the message like the Latinos were all left behind.
Well, the South Africans were left behind as well.
And did you see the South African badge on the actual...
Yes, the South African flag was there.
Now, by the way, South Africa is actually well known for a lot of their army vehicles, or whatever you want to call it. So I was almost... that's kind of where I was playing on it, is the fact that this was like a designed craft, in South Africa. Why they chose a whole South African, team. Were they that bad or what?
I think it's because the director was South African. Honestly, I actually just think that is why he... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also, like there was the on actual the Elysium planet place thing that isn't on Earth.
Space station.
Yeah, whatever we want to call
planet.
it. The president was Indian. So it was cool because it was like, it wasn't just like an American film. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
like very, Matt Damon obviously had an American accent, and then for me though, oh yes, and then they spoke French. Of course they spoke French on Elysium because, you know, like French
very
is just a
proper,
language that, that was,
very round and
of course they took French too.
See?
Yeah.
So-
But then Jodie Foster, right? For me, the way she spoke was just weird. I don't know if you felt the same.
I did.
I was just like, she's speaking very weird. Like, I don't know what and apparently that character was originally supposed to be a male. They then obviously, I don't know if it was in casting or what, but I just felt like her character, I almost felt like she was acting. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, everyone else wasn't
Yeah.
acting. I felt like she was acting. But yeah, I don't know. And maybe that's just personal preference, but for me, the way she spoke was
Is
very
she used
odd.
to that kind of character? Like she's
What else do we know
like
her from?
who,
I know her from that.
who was she anyway? Because
She was the defense secretary.
so maybe she was just trying to come off very strong and have
Yeah.
her words very.
And maybe she was...
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I know her... The one film... I'm trying to get the name of that film now. The one film I know her from very, very well is... Oh, yeah, of course, she was in Silence of the Lambs, but it wasn't that one. But, I mean, she spoke normally in Silence. So not that I've watched it. I've seen bits of it. But there was another one where she what is it? She's a writer. I will find it now. Nim's Island. Did you ever watch Nim's Island? Are you serious? She's a 2008 film. Nim's Island. She plays this. Her character is terrified of going outside, so she writes all of these adventure novels of like the greatest adventures, but she won't even walk out her front door, and she like sanitizes everything, and yeah. So she did the role very well, but she didn't. Yeah, she was normal in that. Like I don't feel like she did anything weird. Yeah. Yeah, but for me, her acting was...
The only thing about the story that I personally found was that, like, in terms of what happened to Matt Damon's character, was just like it was almost like it felt like it was a reason or an excuse as to why the end result of the movie is going to happen. You know, so for example, he had the robotic things. Oh yeah, that's because we'll make him have an accident and he's weak. Oh yeah,
And also, it doesn't make sense how
why is
those
he weak?
robotic things made him
Yeah.
like what? Yeah,
And of course, he's weak. Maybe we can say that no, he got exposed to radiation. So for me, it just felt like the whole beginning of the film was not. I don't know what the difference is, because there's obviously the story that rolls out, and so there's a cause and effect of what happened earlier in the film. And two, it's almost like the story was written backwards. I don't know how to explain it, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, so one day he was going to work, and of course he got exposed to radiation. So of course, okay, he'll put on these robotic arms, and then you know, like, you could probably do this whole thing, and he wasn't even exposed to radiation.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just, you know.
Yeah, he could have just had they could have just hijacked that Carlisle guy.
Put the brain
they
thingy-majiggy.
didn't need to do the radiation. Obviously,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And he's dying, so now he has to. I mean, it would have been way cooler if maybe there was something with the chick, and he wanted to get the chick and the daughter to get healed. So now he fought for them and got them to that Elysium place.
Yeah.
And then of course he dies, because I mean the end was pretty good. I mean, you see, he died and a whole lot of people kind of lived, kind of thing. So there was like, wow, okay, cool, you know, self-sacrifice, whatever. But I just felt like,
You know, the storyline for me personally as well. The storyline was
the play on the thing and all of that.
There wasn't much. So I'd obviously watched it. So
Yeah.
I rewatched the film, but I wasn't like glued to it. You know, when you watch something because you're doing a review on it and
Yeah.
you have to. I kind of felt like that. Like it wasn't. Like I need to. Oh, this is amazing.
It wasn't solid.
Yeah, the story. I agree. It's Matt Damon's acting, but Matt Damon's a good actor.
He is
Like
a
he
good
is a
actor.
good actor. But yeah, the story definitely. And in fact, I actually read somewhere that Neil said that with this film, he was slightly disappointed with it because he felt like he could have gone further with the story.
Yeah.
And I agree, he could have gone further with the story. Obviously, from a visual effects, like a visual perspective, it was done very well with like the robots. And
I mean, why did what was his name? The bad guy, South African bad guy.
Kruger.
Is that's him
That's
in
his
the movie?
character's
That's his
name,
character's
yeah.
name. Why was Kruger so viciously after him? I mean, even in the end, after he killed the woman, because at first you can say, yeah, but it's because he wanted to be reinstated, but he didn't
Yeah.
seem that upset. He was upset about being whatever released, but he wasn't that upset. And then he got reinstated. Then he was after the guy, and then he killed the woman, the defense minister, and then he was still like, really like, oh, come here, I'm gonna get like, why? He just
Yeah.
got a nice new face.
Yeah. And even the way the defense minister just died. So like the that chick Frey was trying to
Yeah.
help her, and she was like, just leave it. And I'm like,
And then she dies right
and
there.
she I'm
Like,
just
surely she can give a secret to her, or like,
Yeah, no, it was very.
like, let's make something out of that moment.
You know what the problem is? I feel like they needed to you know how you go through rewrites with scripts, so you have your initial script. I feel like they needed to go through like
Go a
maybe
couple of them.
4 or 5 or even 6
Yeah.
more rewrites because they would have gotten like deep. I've
Mm.
actually experienced this before. So we once made a film, and afterwards I was just, you know, when you like all of these it sucks. All of these ideas pop into your head as to how. I could have gotten more in with that character, and
Yeah.
it would have been cool if we just did this, and then you're just like, damn it, man, I should have. But I
Too late
suppose
by then.
you know, yeah, sometimes there's deadlines,
Hey.
and
We learn from our mistakes.
yeah. So now apparently, so it's 10 years later, but apparently the director Neil still wants to do a sequel. So this is the news. There's not much, but the most recent Elysium 2 news comes from director Neil 10 years after the first movie's release. According to the director, he wants to make a sequel to Elysium because he feels its themes and dystopian vision of the future has become more relevant over time, which I like. It's a very plausible future if you think about it. And then he said Neil originally got his huge Hollywood break with his movie District 9, but then he ended up falling out of favor after both Elysium and Chappie, ending up disappointing critics and audiences. However, with Gran Turismo getting good reviews in 2023, there is a chance he could get another chance to work on turning one of his standalone sci-fi cult gems into a franchise. If his comments are any indication, he basically, I think, out of like District 9 and Elysium and Chappie, he would choose Elysium to be the one that he makes a sequel for. But having said that, obviously Matt Damon's character dies, so it won't follow Matt Damon's character. It will just be like the same universe, but I suppose with
Something
new
else.
characters. Yeah. Another thing they didn't
Maybe
dive
it's
into.
the daughter. Maybe something happens with the daughter when she gets healed and she becomes like super, like, I don't know.
But you know what's
Something
weird
cool.
is, so in the beginning of the film, they show you Matt Damon's character falls in love with a girl. Her name's Frey. And then it skips forward, and then she becomes a nurse, and he's like, oh my gosh, she actually did it. She became a nurse. And then he doesn't realize she has a daughter. They never dive into how
How
she
she
end
got
up
the
with the
daughter.
daughter. Yeah, like who did she get with? Because those two were like,
Why did the boy leave?
why did she leave?
Oh, was it her that left? You see, we don't even
You
know.
don't, yeah. We're like, what?
I
Yeah,
thought he left. I thought she left.
yeah, they needed to go deeper.
Have you seen that there's what are
District
they?
10.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd watch District 10. That movie traumatized me. I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I think I was
watch
also
it.
really young when I watched it.
District
and it
10.
freaked the hell out of me. I was just like, this is...
Yeah, there's District 10. I'd like to just have a look at that. I'd like to watch Chappie again, definitely, because Chappie was cool. I
Would you
enjoyed
say
it.
Chappie's your top out of Elysium, Chappie, and District 9?
Definitely, because District 9 also made, that was also very traumatizing.
District 9 was such a good film, but it was so traumatizing. Like no, it was a very good
There's
film.
just something very good about if you watch District 9, all the CG fans, if you do tracking and stuff like that, that's like just simply amazing.
Yeah.
The way District 9 was done, like especially the camera moves, because you have a limit on on tracking, as in you tracking your environment, you just place your CG character in there, and Bob's your uncle. But like there's certain track, just camera movement and that, it's just like sorry, we need to go back and reform that because there's no way it's happening. And District, I mean, I remember watching that movie. And I was around that time busy, trying tracking and looking at it. There was stuff that we were doing where we needed to do tracking. And I remember just looking at it and being like, how did they do this?
What the hell?
This is crazy stuff.
And the fact that he's South African, okay, I think he's South African Canadian.
Yes.
But I mean, the fact that because 2009 is a long time ago. That's when District 9 came out.
Right.
And it's good. Like, it's very good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's also apparently a new movie called Off the Grid. It's coming out in 2023, and it's an Unreal Engine 5 cyberpunk movie.
Unreal Engine.
That is actually the perfect description for his films. It's cyberpunk. That is, yeah.
Especially Chappie. If you look at Chappie, the characters in there. Yeah. And that's full South African. Well, not 100%. There were American actors in there, but there were a lot more South African actors.
Isn't the word Chappie South African? Even
It
like
is.
I'm just thinking,
It's a Chappie.
Chappie is basically like gum.
The
but
girl still gives the robot the name Chappie.
Chappie.
Yeah, and then she explains why. Yeah, it's quite something else.
That this has turned into a Neil thanks Matt.
We need to go back
Let's
to
talk
Matt
about
Damon.
Neil. No, but Matt Damon's acting was very good. Oh,
Yeah.
let me actually tell you, Shame. Let's say something about Matt Damon since we are doing a Matt Damon marathon. So apparently for this film, he had to, in order to prepare for his role, he had a daily 4-hour workout in the gym. 4-hour. And Neil had a very specific look for the character's physical look. And so what he did was he had a mugshot of Damon put on to the body of a model on the poster as reference for the trainer.
Oh man.
So that's, and also even the fact that he had no hair, it was very rough.
I thought the kid that acted as the earlier Matt Damon was very well chosen.
Well, and he was a good actor because sometimes the kids, even the little girl, they were very good. Sometimes children, their acting can be a bit like
dry.
shame. Yeah, they're children. But no, he looked like Matt Damon. He did
That's
look
what I'm
like
saying.
Matt Damon. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It really was a good fit.
What was the movie? The Witch, the Wardrobe, and the
Narnia.
There's the one guy that plays in there. He's more he plays as quite a brat character.
Edmund.
I think it's him. Like if you look at his no, as in it's not him. It's that. I think that's the character I'm talking about. But doesn't he look very familiar? If it's the character we're talking about, to the younger version of obviously he's a lot older now. Am I right?
I don't know.
The character we're talking about.
Whoa, which character are we doing?
Hang on, give me a sec. I'm gonna tell you exactly who it is. What is the name of the series? Narnia.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Narnia movies. I'm going to tell you exactly who it is. There you go, The Chronicles of Narnia. This guy, right? I know he's going to show up.
It's Edmund,
in
right?
3, in 2, in...
Let me help right out
They
here.
really don't like this guy, do they? Okay, here we go. Characters, there, this guy. This guy.
Oh! No, he's not Edmund. He plays Eugene.
But, okay.
Yeah.
But like a younger version of him, doesn't he look similar?
I get what you're saying.
To the younger version of
Matt
Damon.
Yeah, they do have a similar vibe.
Eh?
I don't think it wasn't him though,
No,
right?
it wasn't
Yeah,
him.
no. But I get what you're saying.
But that's who reminded. At first, I was like, "Wait, is that?"
He was still in Maze Runner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I just needed
They
to
even
say.
said this guy's glow up is insane because when he was younger, he had like these very funny eyebrows. And now, have you seen him?
Yeah.
They literally like this guy evolved into a Hemsworth brother. You know, Chris Liam.
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Liam said,
Yeah.
no, he had a serious glow up. You know what a glow up is, right?
No.
When someone's like average looking and then suddenly they just turn into someone that's like, you're just like, wow.
Model on.
What happened to you? Yeah.
What is that? CJ, CQC, whatever those model.
CK.
Model guy modeling magazines. Man.
Yeah, that
You
whatever.
know, like front cover. Pa.
Yeah, no, that's him.
Wow.
He had a glow up, serious glow up.
Glow up.
It's gonna glow up.
Thank you.
I still saw it on Instagram and I was like, he really did evolve into one of the Hemsworth brothers.
I feel like we should have some movie lingo, or not movie lingo, just like lingo, like glow up, and then the meaning, do. Like a list of words that are just
Explain what it
when we
means.
say.
Yeah.
That's for another day.
Yeah, so we shall probably be continuing. There's a lot of movies under Matt Damon's
Yeah.
name. There's like a lot. So, yeah. But we have already done Ford versus Ferrari, so we won't be doing that again.
I'd like to explore the Jason Bourne,
Yeah, we should do it.
yeah,
We should do it.
because there's about 3 or 4 films
Yeah.
under there.
No, definitely.
And also what's cool is that there's a storyline there to follow as well,
Yeah. So, coming up soon.
to a movie show near you.
But until next week,
See you then.
peace.
Cheers.